Election days come and go, but the struggle of the people to create a government which represents all of us and not just 1%, a government based on principles of economic, social, racial, and environmental justice, that struggle continues. Lessons from the 2023 general election. The 2023 election was an eye-opener for many conscious observers of the Nigerian political process. We came face to face with our fears, desires, ambition, and faith. First, INEC pulled out of its own regulation when it failed to upload results using the beavers from the polling unit. This led to public outcry as the electors felt betrayed. The lessons here is that every institution in Nigeria must guard its own ethos and play by the objective fidelity of its own promise to the people. Anything less will soil the institution's integrity, and that is what just happened. In some polling units, there were violence and voter suppression. Ballot boxes were snatched and citizens injured. The lessons from here is that a huge part of the electors, influenced by politicians, still believe intimidation and violence is the only way possible to attain political powers, thereby committing electoral offenses. They forget that the politicians have taken their children to safe countries, but get them here to fight their opponents and struggle for political dominance. Some electors sold their votes and others sold same for credit and came back to complain about it and organize protests to vent their frustration. The lessons from here is that those who sold their votes barely know that their action constitutes an offense under our laws. And the audacity of coming out to protest and, grant interviews to the press is quite laughable. With the growth of our democracy in the country and its concomitant awareness, one would have thought that we have transcended what we have today. But the lessons show that we are not there yet. The truth remains that politicians are desperate in Nigeria to get power at all costs. And in doing this, they don't care what becomes of the system and the rest of us, as long as they have power, which oftentimes when they procure, they do not know what exactly to do with this power in the long run. The lessons from here, therefore, is that those who seek to lead us are far cut off from us and our reality, because they are deep-necked in their own agenda, such that everything in their mind is targeted at their own fulfillment and nothing for the citizens. They have used ethnicities and religion to plague us, causing disunity, disaffection, and hatred. I would therefore advocate that the citizens of Nigeria must embrace one another in unity, in our strength, to make manifest our diversity, that in brotherhood we stand for unity and purpose, that we must remember that we have a common challenge. Poverty is tribeless, that each time we are hit by bad policy, it does not affect one tribe and leave the other. That we must right the wrongs of the last elections by conducting ourselves in a manner prescribed by law, eschew violence, and allow the court of law to do justice for the good of all and sundry. I shall go to Rabbi.